Hi everyone, thanks a lot for joining me for this demo session today. My name is Gordan Markus and I'm representing Canonical, and Canonical is the company that is the creator of Ubuntu. So how many of you here know about Ubuntu? Can I see a show of hands? Well, so almost everybody knows what Ubuntu is, right? And in this talk specifically, what I want to talk to you about is the future of Ubuntu on RISC-V. And if you haven't had a chance so far, you can also meet us at the booth at C3 and meet some of our colleagues there when we can discuss more in details. But in order to get started, let's talk a bit about Ubuntu and our journey, right? I think that a lot of you are familiar with Ubuntu on desktop. We started this journey in 2004, and today Ubuntu is the #1 Linux distribution for desktop Linux and for workstation Linux. In 2008, we started working with the public cloud vendors, and today the majority of the instances in the public clouds are actually running Ubuntu. We moved into the private cloud as well, and our key goal is to have the ability to deploy open source software and be the portal for enterprises and developers around the world, everywhere, and most importantly, on every ISA. And that brings us to the topic of Canonical and RISC-V. When did this journey actually start between us, who were a vanguard of open source software, and RISC-V, which is the vanguard of open standard ISA, and the community? In 2021, we started working together with one of our key partners, Sci-Fi. And back then, the question from the journalists was, is Ubuntu to become the reference OS for RISC-V? We enabled the high-five unmatched at that point in time. And of course, our answer would like to be yes. We would like to have Ubuntu as an OS of reference for every Linux-capable RISC-V machine out there, essentially. And to prove that, I want to go through a retrospect of what we achieved in 2023 and celebrate some of our key partners that we have been collaborating with. In 2023, we worked closely with Star5, and we enabled Ubuntu on the Star5 Vision 5.2 RISC-V SBC. So this was something that happened in the April this year at launch with 2304, and this was a very big milestone for both Canonical Ubuntu as well as the RISC-V ecosystem. The Vision 5.2 is a very affordable SBC, and Star5 was a really key partner in bringing Ubuntu in across a whole nother, let's say, market and a whole nother area for us with Ubuntu. We also worked really closely with Microchip. We enabled the PolarFire SoC, and basically we also enabled the Icicle kit on board with Microchip. On top of that, right now when you buy a Beagle 5 Fire, it will come with Ubuntu pre-installed out of the box. So essentially we are driving Ubuntu even into some spaces that are very affordable for developers out there to capture the mind share of the folks who would like to use Linux really easily on platforms that are also open hardware enabled. And the highlight, I think, of this year is our partnership with Sci-Fi, which we can see in our booth right now. If you go by our booth C3, you will see that the Hi-Fi Pro P550 platform is enabled with Ubuntu there, which is our big milestone. And as I mentioned, Sci-Fi was one of our key partners that we collaborated on this journey. But this is all something that we celebrated what happened in 2023. But I think the key question is, what is the future of Ubuntu on RISC-V and what is coming actually next? So the future of Ubuntu on RISC-V is we want to deepen our collaboration with the RISC-V community through RVI and RISE. We have already been involved with RVI quite a lot, but this year we're going to start working, and next year more closely with the RISE community, specifically in the distro integration group, because we see there's a lot of commonality and a lot of work together that we're doing with other distribution vendors such as Red Hat and SUSE that we can collaborate on. We will further collaborate with partners, making Ubuntu and Canonical technologies available of the next generation RISC-V platforms, right? So I want to also emphasize here that just making Ubuntu run and making the base Linux run is not the same as making the whole stack run. Our key goal is to enable everything beyond. So it also includes OpenStack, Snaps, Juju Charms, and all the Canonical software stack that is required to operate your infrastructure at scale, to use Linux-based technologies and open source in the data center as well as at the edge. And what does that actually include? That means that we'll have to look really closely into our RISC-V profile strategy. As everyone here knows, is that the RISC-V profiles are rapidly evolving. And this usually means that the open source software needs to evolve as well to kind of leverage those, let's say, extensions that are going to be created, either vendor extensions or the standard extensions. This also means that as a distribution that is offering open source, we will need to recompile our distribution for the new profiles, as well as to be able to support vendors. And this is where a lot of internal development work at Ubuntu and Canonical will be focused. So our key goal is really to enable our ecosystem when they build their silicon, that we can offer the best-in-class experience, particularly for that silicon, with optimized vendor extensions as well as profile extensions. So we really want to make sure that the designs that the people here in the ecosystem design and create, that you can use Ubuntu and let your silicon shine through our distribution. And one of the bigger things that is internal to us is also building scalable RISC-V build and test infrastructure. So this is also something where we're lagging a bit, right? Because we would like to see more powerful and new hardware that can have vector extensions and hypervisor extensions, so our tests and build farms can be much more efficient and better. So this is something that we're working really closely with our partners, and hopefully in 2024, we will see the powerful hardware that we need so that we can build things at scale and test things at scale the same way we do for other ISAs. And as a final thing, I would like to have a call to action. Here is the download link where you can actually see and find the images for Ubuntu for a vast variety of RISC-V boards. And I would like to invite you to download those images and test them either in a virtual environment with QEMU or one of the hardware platforms that you have at home potentially, and provide us with feedback. Reach out to us. Also, if you're working on any type of new designs and would like to see Ubuntu running on your platform, please reach out to us and we'll see the best way we can support you on that journey. Also, if you have any type of feedback on what you would like to see from our distribution, how do we manage the ISAs, the extensions, the build system and so on, if you have any type of feedback, we're really open for suggestions, because we are also in this journey like leveraging the whole ecosystem to help us with our partners. So yeah, that's pretty much everything from my side. And thanks a lot to everybody for attending. Make sure to pass by our booth C3 over there. Thanks. By the way, are we also doing questions for these talks? Or if somebody has questions, I'm open to that. Nope? Then catch me later.